Hey everyone, I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you are new here, my name is Melissa and I am a second grade teacher from Michigan. So this past weekend, my husband AJ and I got to take a little getaway, so I am going to insert a few clips of what we did. If you are not interested in that part of the video, totally fine, I understand. I will put a little timestamp in the down bar so that you can skip ahead to the conferences and other weekly little updates in this video. But we seriously had so much fun and it was so beautiful. The colors were amazing. We got to visit with family. So we left on Friday night and then we stayed all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then I took a personal day Monday and then we drove back. So I had to cram in my grad work and pack and rush around after school all week last week, but it was so worth it. It was just great and we had an awesome time. So here are the clips from that if you would like to watch. So, like I said, this week is conferences for me, and let me tell you, I am already tired. Our schedule is that we have students for half of the school day, and then we start conferences from 1 o'clock. We have 20-minute time slots. They go till 4. Then we get an hour for dinner and have another set from 5 to 8. And then we will also have some next week, Tuesday, which will start right after school, well, 5 o'clock, so we get an hour for dinner. And then they go from about 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So we do 2 conference days. This one's really not so bad because we do get a half day, but the Tuesday ones are kind of rough because we teach the whole day and then we stay for conferences, and then it's only Tuesday, so we still have to go to work like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I really honestly enjoy conferences. My first year of teaching, I was very afraid to do them, and I still get nervous because I think that's just natural. And I think the key to having successful conferences is to really focus on the positive whenever possible. So obviously you need to be honest, and if there is something that a child needs to work on, like, you need to address it. What I like to do is start with something really positive and then maybe address that negative thing somewhere in the middle and try to end on something positive. And the way that I think about it is when we are talking to these parents, you are speaking to them about the most important thing in the world to them. Like, they will do anything for their kid and anything to protect their kid and take care of their kid. Like, that is their pride and joy. And so what I have noticed is to have successful conferences, I need to show the parents that I also care about their child. Like, I love them. I want what's best for them. So by sharing those that positive information or giving fun little stories about the child, I really feel like that helps make a connection and just shows the parents, like, hey, I really do know your kid, and like, I really love your kid and care about your kid as well. Because even when you are delivering news that maybe isn't the easiest to give, if you back it up with that care for that child, it's gonna go so much easier. So in case you guys are curious, I'll talk a little bit about how conferences are happening this year and what I sent home with parents. So this is me from the future. I was rewatching this clip while I was editing and realized I really did not explain this well. Like, you can just tell when I'm talking that I was so tired. I was seriously exhausted, and I ended up filming it like after conferences, I think, or before, I don't know. I was super tired either way. But anyways, I am gonna quickly explain to you guys what was in my conference folders. So basically what I do is I take a big piece of construction paper, fold it in half, and make a folder minus the pockets. Inside, I put a kid's math test as well as a letter that they wrote to their parents. And then I also put these things. Let me grab them. I have my students do a self-reflection, so there are 4 different emojis up here, and then we go through and we talk about what it would mean to get each score in each category. And I make sure to stress to my kids, like, hey, you're probably not gonna have like all the really happy faces, but I also shouldn't see everyone with all sad faces or anyone with all sad faces, because we all have strengths and we all are doing things really, really well. So I try to really have that conversation with them so that they are super honest. My kids this year did pretty well, and I was happy about that. So yeah, that is something that I think is really easy to kind of get the conference going, is to have the students work and then have that self-reflection, and that way the parents can kind of get in the mindset of like, this is what my kid is thinking. And then after that, like I said, I do put a math test in there. Now normally I show a lot more like student work samples, but because of conferences being virtual this year and either over Google Meets or over the phone, I did not want to overwhelm the parents. I just wanted to have a few things in there so that I could easily describe it. They didn't have to shuffle a bunch of papers. So I always have one of these, but this year it was like super extra helpful. And this is just a student score summary report. So if you can see, I break it up into sections where I put the student scores in reading, and then I put the beginning of the year benchmark scores as well as the middle of the year. So that way they can look at their student scores, see how they're doing, compare that to where they should be in the beginning of the year, and then also see where we are heading as a class. So of course, this is a blank one. I just put student name at the top and did not fill in the scores. Underneath that is the math test for our Unit 1 test. That is the only one that we have done so far this year. Our first unit is very, very long. Ugh, the sun is like moving and like getting in the way. It's setting. But anyways, then for spelling, I put their spelling average out of 5 tests. And then at the bottom, I just have behavior. So I rate my students on respect, being responsible, and being ready to learn. A level 2 means that they're meeting the expectations, and a level 1 is exceeding, where 3 is approaching approaching, and then 4 is below. I rarely ever use a level 4 because I just honestly don't think it's necessary most of the time. Like, I think all kids really are working on approaching standards in behavior, you know. So anyways, that is what I put in there, and this is really helpful, and then I can just kind of walk their parents through this, and it's easy to have it all in one place so I can like continually reference the same paper. And then yeah, so I kept a copy of these two here with me, and then I also sent them home so that way I could go through it with the parents and talk about exactly what was on there, and I was making sure to look at the exact same thing that they had. So yeah, even though conferences are a lot and they are so busy, I really do like them, and I leave feeling tired, but honestly, like, it like fills my heart a little bit because I love just like sharing those good achievements with parents and seeing them like smile and just like be proud of their kid. Like, that's a really good feeling because I don't know, it's just really special. So even though I get nervous for conferences, I end up feeling like really good afterwards. I've got my mask earring on. It's 8 o'clock and I am going home. I'm so sleepy. At least tomorrow is Friday. So it is actually the following week now, and it is currently Thursday, October 29. I just had to read my board to make sure I had the right day. But anyways, this is actually the last day of school for students this week. It is after school now. I just said goodbye to my kids. They have a 3-day weekend. Meanwhile, we had conferences after school on Tuesday. Then I had an evaluation on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it was the kids' last day of school. That felt like a Friday, and I didn't have my planning today because we were short a sub. And now we have a day full of PD tomorrow. Anyways, I'm sorry about the lighting, you guys. The sun is setting. I need to leave soon. It is that time of year where the sun sets at literally 5:04 p.m. and it's like coming right in through my blinds. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you guys the centers that we did today because we did some Halloween themed ones and they were super duper duper fun. We had a lot of good activities today to like get through the day. Tried to find a lot for high engagement, and I will say there are a lot of printables today, which is not always something that I like to do a ton of, but with my chaotic and crazy week, like, I really wanted like little prep things that were still like obviously aligning to what we were learning about. So even though some of these aren't pulled from my curriculum, they are touching on the same topics that I am covering in my curriculum right now. And I just made them Halloween themed because I feel like that's literally the best way to incorporate holiday activities and seasonal activities, is just to use the topics you're already required to teach about and just like throw a pumpkin on it, like make it pumpkin themed, make it candy corn themed. So I'm gonna show you our stations today and what we did for that, and then I am going to head out and call it a night because I am heading to my parents' house for dinner. And yeah, so for ELA this week, we are learning about biographies, and so we read about Abraham Lincoln. So this is my teacher example. The kids obviously had writing with theirs, but basically I found this really cute clip art, which is from TPT. I will link it below. And then I just stapled a piece of lined writing paper, and the students wrote a little biography about Abraham Lincoln. This is our introduction to biographies, so we all do the same person. So they actually had a ton of fun with that, and they turned out adorable. And now I made a template so that I can just keep it for next year. Another fun activity we did was we read aloud Spookly the Square Pumpkin. Well, we actually listened to it on YouTube because sometimes I just like to do that so the kids can listen to a different voice reading every once in a while. But then we completed this organizer, which again I got for free on Teachers Pay Teachers. This is my example, and then the kids, we kind of collaborated and came up with the different ideas. And then it came with a really fun directed drawing. So this was my Spookly. The kids were really cute. They turned out really good, and this was a freebie on TPT, so I will definitely link this below. I think it was actually intended to go with a slightly different book, but it worked perfectly fine for what I needed it for. Okay, so I'm just covering up the student writing on this, but they forgot their name, so sometimes this is a good thing. But for this one, we just read a short little passage about costumes, and they were looking for the proper nouns, and then they had to copy them down below. Proper nouns are the thing that we are working on in our curriculum this week, so I found this story, again, for free on Teachers Pay Teachers. It was a quick activity, so once they were done, they got to choose to read from their book box, or I told them they could go on Epic to read some Halloween stories. Another activity they did, since we are working on nouns, is this Halloween noun sort. This came in a 2-pack on TPT, again, free. I will link it below. They had a fall themed one that we did last week, and then this time we did the Halloween one. So I told my kids to not worry about the words just because they're so tiny and like cutting is a struggle, you know? So they just cut out the pictures and then pasted them depending on what kind of noun they were. Okay, this is my personal favorite. This template was free, and then I just cropped a picture of myself, like super duper messy. I did not have time to make it beautiful. But what should my teacher be for Halloween? I got some really, really fun examples. So if you haven't done this before, I definitely recommend. Again, I will link the template below. So yeah, that was some of my centers mixed with some whole group activities as well. I know I said I was going to show you guys centers, but a couple of those we did all together. And then the last little station that we had today was actually a birthday book. And then a few kids were also working with me at the same time, of course, but I tucked in a birthday book because it was one of my students' birthdays. So it was fun. We got to celebrate her birthday, and yeah, that was kind of what we did today. So I think that I'm going to end this vlog here. I think I have enough footage. I mean, it's my weekend trip, and then it's going to be a little bit about conferences and then this, so it's probably going to be a little bit shorter. If I don't have enough, I will just add some more footage. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you are having a fantastic day or week or month or whatever. Be sure to check out my Instagram down below. If you do not already follow me on there, you can also find my Teachers Pay Teachers store, my classroom wish list, my Amazon storefront, and anything else relevant to this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.